Thank you once again, the people of Africa. Thank you once again, the people of America. And thank you once again, the people of the world. I'm so grateful to be here once again this evening. Dr. Alfred is here on behalf of ATY TV channel, a channel that talks your voice, a channel that says your voice, a channel that listens to your voice. Today, our topic is going to be African countries will not develop unless our leaders change. And when we come back, I'm going to tell the reason why African countries will not develop. And I'm going to tell you what they need to do. I'll be talking more extensively. And stay tuned, and I'll see you at the other side. Thank you so much, my viewers, and thank you for watching. And thank you for giving me the opportunity. Thank you. I'm back. Dr. Alfred is back, and as I said, we are going to be discussing a topic: African countries will not develop unless our leaders change. Guys, thank you so much. I'm here to discuss this very topic, and it's so important to us and so important to this channel. The reason why I say African countries will not develop, I will be giving so many reasons why African countries will not develop. And you know, it's been a long time. African countries are not, when you look at, for instance, Ghana, when we attained independence till today, Ghana, to be frank, Ghana is even better before than now. Why? Because of these reasons. And the number one reason is that the policy of rewarding friends. African leaders like to reward friends and punish foes. And one basic principle of the rule of law is that laws apply to everyone. So any government that comes into power cannot make new laws to help his cronies and hurt their adversaries, except through due process. But this is what our African leaders do. They come into power, they want to make laws that will help them and their friends and hurt others, people who are against them or the people in the other party or the government they've taken over. That is strongly making Africa not to develop. And that is it. The second reason is the nepotism. Nepotism in Africa is far overweighing the leadership objective of the countries in Africa. Leaders take into consideration family values first, ethnicity, religion, tribalism. Because he's not our family, we cannot give him a position. We cannot allow him to lead. Even though the person might have the ability to lead and achieve the developmental objectives of the country, the person will not be given the position because he's not part of the family, he's not their tribe, he's not in their religion. Gender-based bias. Women who are efficient and effective and have the ability to be able to lead institutions and be in the leader position are not given the opportunity to do so simply because they are women. This is a very strong factor that is causing African countries not to develop and develop successfully. Blurred vision is another reason. The Bible has said that my people perish for lack of knowledge. But it has been said practically in theories that it has been said that where there is no vision, the people perish. Where there's no vision, the people perish. And the reason why this blurred vision exists is that African leaders who take the rule of the government or go into leadership to lead the countries, because they already have the inherent petty jealousy of other people who are leading, they come in and fail to think of the reason why they came into power. Dwelling in the past instead of thinking of the reason why they came into power. So as a result, they fail to enhance their ability to lead the country with the developmental objectives in their mind. This is another reason. It's a very strong reason, and it affects African countries so much. And you, my viewers, you and I, we know practically what has been going on. We know. Is it helping African countries? No. At all, it's not helping African countries. Because of these reasons I have mentioned. And the next one, the fourth reason I would like to tell you, my viewers and the people of Africa and the people of the world. Competition for preeminence. Leaders go into power, competition for preeminence. Every leader and their families want to be first among equals. As a result, contracts are given to family members, positions are given to family members, certain type of responsibility are given to family members and friends who are not competent enough to there. So they go there, they don't know what to do. They go there, they don't know what it is all about. But they are only a figure there. They cannot enforce because they don't have the technical knowledge. They don't have the know-how to be able to lead, to be able to do that particular job. But because of this competition for preeminence, where every leader and the family want to be seen among equals or higher among equals, this is what they do. And this affects African continent and African countries so badly, to a point that it devastates the resources we have, because it is not being used appropriately. For instance, if you have a minister who is in a particular position or leading an institution that he doesn't know how to lead, doesn't know how to deal with it, can you imagine what is going to be happening? It's going to be chaos. People will do what they want. Misapplication of what? Resources. Misallocation of resources and doing the things they think is so relevant to them. It was one of the things which is killing Africa. And it's like a brain-eating termite. Corruption. Corruption. It makes African leadership so ineffective to a point that it makes our country continue to wobble all the time. My viewers, corruption. You know it. I know it. Let's not forget, in 1957, when Ghana gained independence, Dr. Kwame Nkrumah, he noticed something. He said, he noticed corruption as a vice that can risk gravely the millions of African struggle, the millions of people who are struggle for freedom. He was right. He was right. Dr. Kwame Nkrumah was right. He is my hero because he said so many things that is existing today. He says so many things that is happening today. He noted corruption as a vice that can risk gravely harming millions in Africa struggle for freedom. And look at what is happened. Do we still have our freedom? We don't have our freedom. You know why? One, within the countries in Africa, we corrupt. Our leaders corrupt. Because of their corrupt behavior, they allow the Western countries to manipulate them. Offices, various departments and institutions in Africa and in countries, they corrupt. So because of this type of our leadership mentality, and because they place people at the bottom, they are able to use those people. So they corrupt. The pyramid of corruption is that way. At the lower bottom is so wide and narrow to the up, because the upper part of the pyramid feed into the lower part, instruct them to do whatever they are supposed to do, and it goes up, up, up. How can we ever develop? My viewers, how can we ever develop when we have such a leadership in our various countries in the continent of Africa. We cannot develop. And we all know the reality of it. That is why I always told this channel, let's come out to speak. Let's speak. Let's talk. Let's pull out things that is not helping us. At a point, even if they are not listening, they will listen to us at a point. This type of corrupt behavior will never make African countries to develop. We are going to be struggling all the time. And you know what we're going to be doing? Always looking somewhere for help. And as much as we continue to look for this help from the Western countries, any of them can manipulate that to what they want us to be. Dr. Kwame Nkrumah, did he fail in his statement? He did not. He did not. Today we are still seeing it happening. The sixth reason I will tell you, not the last though, the sixth reason I will tell you is that African leaders are dictators. They involve themselves in dictatorship attitude. And three things will bring about dictatorship. Too little to trust, too much to trust, and neurotic ambitions. The neurotic ambitions covers all the three. A leader will feel that he's not trusted by followers, by the people of the country, and for them to establish their base, they become dictators. They become dictators. Nobody talks about the government. Nobody criticizes the government. Nobody said anything that is incongruent with the values of the government. If you say anything against, then you are in trouble. Too much to trust. When a leader feels or a government feels that people trust them so much, the team he works with trust them, he becomes a dictator in order to feed on his neurotic ambitions. He sidelines people. When people who oppose become victims. For instance, in Ghana, Radio Gold is closed. Some few radio stations have closed because they have criticized the current government of the things they are not doing well. Does it have to happen that way? No. But now anybody that speaks against current government in Ghana, I'm using Ghana as an example because it is happening in Ghana and I am a Ghanaian. Now anybody who speaks against this government is victimized. When under normal circumstances, things are not being done right. And I'm going to be coming up very soon with the things this very government in Ghana has done to the world. This is how, more broadly, African leaders are. And you think with this type of attitude, look at, for instance, in America. Trump is now the president of America. The media can come out and say he's even being insulted several times. Have they closed any station? No. Even for him to come out and even make some comment, he's believed as a president who wants to silence the freedom of people, not to even talk of closing, going to lock down a radio station, lock down a TV station because they have drawn your attention or spoken against things you are not doing. That is not helpful to the development of the country. This is what our African leaders do. And you think Africa will develop? Africa will never develop unless this type of leadership change. Unless the mentality we have that to victimize change. And you know what? The last reason is failure to redefine goals. African leaders don't adopt changing times. They don't adopt. The moment they go into power, they believe because they have the power, they'll do what they want. And as a result of this nepotism, policy of rewarding friends, competing for preeminence, and corruption, they don't put their mind on the current changing situations. As a result, we fail to do certain things that will help to the development of the country. Selfishness. We want to self-aggravate ourselves to a certain level, self-enhance ourselves and our families. It makes us, we only focus our mind on those things. But to redefine goals according to current times is not necessary. Most leaders go into the political system and get leadership position. They don't even have a manifesto that they have implemented. They come and they talk, and when they go inside, they never will implement those policies. Do you have a vision? When you were going into the government as a leader, when you were taking the leadership mantle? No. Let me use, for instance, Nelson Mandela of South Africa. His aim was to fight and end the apartheid rule in South Africa. That was his goal. And when he eventually voted into power as the president of South Africa, he ended the apartheid rule. And after that, he said he wouldn't go for a second term. You know why? Most people said he was old, he was this, he was this. No, Nelson Mandela could have still been the president of South Africa at that time that he relinquished to not recompete. But for instance, after Nelson Mandela left and he went back to sit down, South Africa has never been the same. Look at what is happening in South Africa. That is African continent. You think Africa will ever develop? No. South Africa was valued as one of the countries that were more like a Western country. Look at what is happening there now. This is the problem of redefining goals. Nelson Mandela redefined his goals. He fought throughout his life until he ended the apartheid rule and handed it over, and it's being misused now. South Africa is not the same. We all know it. The same like all the countries in the African continent. This is what is happening today. Because we don't know how to redefine goals and adapt to current situations and be able to develop ourselves through creativity. African leaders has continued to beg financial assistance from the Western countries. Continue to knock at the doors and kneel down at the doors of the Western countries and the Bretton Woods institutions. This is the problem. And you know the most painful part, as I said in my previous video, when they get that money, it's not being used accordingly, misapplied. You know why? The very people they place there don't have the competence to do that. They place family members at the bottom, and when the money comes, it's being misapplied. That is the problem we face today. So at the end of the day, we go back to square zero. Without achieving that objectives, we know why. We don't have a defined objectives. When we have a defined objective to be able to lead our various countries in Africa to grow and develop, we will not be bringing family members, rewarding party members, punishing others and helping others. But we will look at it in a very more comprehensive but more effective and efficient way to apply these resources that we are still knocking at the doors of the Western countries to give us. We cannot always continue to knock at their doors. It doesn't help Africa. So in order for African countries to develop, this is what we should be doing. Or this is what our leaders should be doing. Train young leaders. Number one important thing is to be able to harness the intellectual abilities of your young generation in your various countries. And give them training. Enhance them. Either in internal training within your country or send them outside to go and learn and come back. Give them those leadership opportunities to be able to lead, to be able to help, because they have the capabilities, they have the intellectual abilities, they have the enthusiasm, the zeal to help the country develop. But when you decide not to train your young leader, and that is what African leaders have been doing till today, they don't train the young generations, they don't give them opportunities to take leadership positions. And various institutions are lacking that. You think there will be creativity? There won't be creativity. Because you don't train your young leadership. So African leaders, invest in your in your young leaders. The youth, invest in them, train them, guide them, and they will help the country to develop. Like Arikana was saying, only in New York, the doctors, only doctors, not all professionals, the doctors that are practicing in New York from Ghana are more than the whole doctors in Ghana. Doctors that are in LA, Los Angeles, that's just a only section of them. The population is bigger than the whole country's Nigerian doctors from Nigeria. Why? Because these people, when they go back there, they will not be given the chance. They will not be given the opportunity to do what they do. Even not to mention names. One of Ghanaian doctors came some years to open Heart Foundation in Kwalebu Hospital in Ghana. Look at eventually how he was treated. You think any young others professionals who are here, very educated, they know they will not be given the opportunity. But where they are in America here, it's not their country, but they are given the opportunity. Even in the midst of this racism, they still prefer to be here because they are given the opportunity. In one way or the other. African leaders, do you? No. No. Please, again, adopt a national unity and inclusion. Stop saying this is my family member, this is my religious, this person is a woman or no. Adopt a national unity and inclusion. Make sure bring everybody together. Stop the religious, tribalistic, the nepotic way of doing things, and let everybody get involved to the development of your countries. It will help us a lot. If we are able to break these barriers, I'm telling you, we are going to have more people who can invest. Because you know why? You won't be putting people who don't have the technical know-how because they are from your family, because they are your tribal, because they are your religious, because you maintain that values, but they don't have the technical competence to do the job. Africa will not develop. Respect your laws. Respect the laws of your country and continent of Africa, so that when you come in, don't try to change laws to help yourself, help your friends, and hurt others. Respect the laws. Those laws were put by our founding fathers for us to follow. You cannot just change laws when you don't follow due process and it is not in the interest of the whole country. That is the truth. Leave office when it is your turn. Leave office. Don't try to change laws and say memorandum of whatever it is to change the law and say the people want me to be in office. Do not. Learn to be acceptable to criticisms, because every country, every individual, every citizen has the right to speak. Even if you don't know, let's copy the Western countries. Even in a bitter tone of language, they still take it. Do they brutalize somebody? No. Do they punish somebody and their business because this is what they said? No. But this is what African countries know how to do. We became dictators, to a point that anything that is not said to praise African leader become a poison in their heart. And for that matter, they seek to hunt whoever say it down. Where is your freedom of speech? Where is the application of the law that says every citizen has the right to speak? Where is it? But you know what? African leaders, we are so proud within ourselves that when now we have the power, the authority to do anything, now anybody who say anything to me must face it. Because it is not what you want to hear. As a president, should you be hearing, or as a leader of African continent, or a leader of any particular country in Africa, do you have to be hearing every day what you want to hear? You cannot be hearing anything that will only make you happy, because that doesn't make you a strong leader. It does not. You have to hear things from various aspects, whether they are palatable or unpalatable. It makes you sit down and think. But of course, most of the things that are being said with you would carry some type of sense, because it's something that alerts you to listen to the voice of your citizens instead of punishing and brutalizing people when they speak against you. African continent will not develop until we learn to stop the policy of rewarding friends, nepotism, blurred vision, competing for preeminence, and corruption, as well as having dictatorship attitude and failing to redefine our goals. I hope that every African leaders will sit down and redefine our leadership style, so that Africa will change from its current situation to a very better place. Otherwise, African countries will not develop. Our leaders, change your mentality, change your attitude in your leadership. It will help us. Thank you so much, my viewers, for watching today. I'm so grateful for you guys. Always give me the opportunity to sit down and share these views to you, because they are your voice. We all need to speak up. Kindly share this video. Please like it. Give a comment. I am going to be discussing on every comment. If it is making a video about your contribution, I will do that. I have one video I'll have to make about somebody's contribution, which will be coming up soon. Thank you for always watching, and thank you for always listening. And see you in my next video. Thank you so much.